Okay, this one is similar to 55. Really same type of problem where you have you're trying to solve an inequality. Okay, so hopefully Gillette went over this. This is maybe the weirdest concept on this review. So first thing to solve an inequality, you almost always have to have 0 on one side, have it isolated for 0. And then the other side has to be factored, which both of those things already happen here. So this will be kind of easier than a typical problem. Okay, once you have all the everything on one side, 0 on the other, and then this factored, then you set each factor equal to 0 and put it on a number line. Okay, so we'll take a number line here, and then just it ends up just being the opposites of all these numbers, because we're trying to figure out what makes each of these factors 0. So 1 will make this 0, 2 will make this factor 0, 6 will make this factor 0. So those are the numbers that we put on the number line. And then we do this thing called test points, or find test points. And so notice that these 3 points split up the number line into 4 different regions. And the solution to this polynomial inequality will be, one or more, or could be one or more of these regions. If it's anything, it's going to be a whole region will be a solution always. You'll never have like part of one of these regions be a solution. So okay, so we'll do test points. So just pick a number. We have this region is all the numbers less than 1. So pick a number less than 1. So I'll pick 0. Okay, this region here is all the numbers between 1 and 2. So just pick a number, 1.5. Okay, all the numbers between 2 and 6, I'll pick 4. You pick anything though. And then this last region is all the numbers greater than 6. So I'll pick 7. Okay, and then when we plug these test points in to this, you don't care what the actual answer is. You only care if the answer is positive or negative when you plug it in. So watch when we plug in 0. So we'll get 0 minus 1 times 0 minus 2, 0 minus 6. Okay, and then this, do you get this is negative, and this is negative? A negative times a negative times a negative is negative, and that's what that is. So we'll just put a negative. Doesn't matter what the actual value is, like negative 12 or whatever. The only thing that's important is that it's negative. And then you just keep doing that. Just plug in the test points one by one, and then look at what sign you get. Okay, little tip. If all the factors here are linear, then the signs will alternate. So the fact that we got our first one was negative, the next one will definitely be positive, this will be negative, and that'll be positive. Okay, and that happens anytime these factors are linear. It happens other times too, but definitely when these are linear. The times that it wouldn't happen is like, let's say one of these x was squared up there or something, or if one of these factors was like x squared plus 1 or something, then it wouldn't necessarily alternate. Yeah. Or if it was like x minus 1 squared or something like that, if that was a factor. All right. Now we're done. So you have to know like kind of when you're done with this type of problem. So the answer is this number line. So you just have to be able to interpret what the answer is from this number line. So notice that we want to find here, solutions are going to be all the values of x that if you plug it into the left-hand side, make the left-hand side less than 0, right? So less than 0 is negative. So all the values of x that make this thing negative. And so these two regions together is the answer. And so we'll just write it out. Okay, this first region is all the numbers from negative infinity to 1. And then the next, this region is all the numbers from 2 to 6. And then remember, if you, in interval notation, if you get two different regions, just put a union, and that's the answer.